The X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
UK High Definition Radio, Euro High Definition Radio, Star Cable. 1-800-610-7035 is worldwide toll-free. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv. And starting July 26th, the X Zone TV channel is up again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year at xzonetv.com. My guest this hour is Deborah Frueh, and Deborah is an intuitive coach based near Chicago. She began helping others with intuitive tools for the past 25 years. Her most important work is done one-on-one, helping her clients from all over the world understand the larger themes of the situations they find themselves in to effect meaningful change that will last. Interestingly, she is also a hardened skeptic. Although she is psychic, she does not simply, quote-unquote, accept everything in the New Age psychic community and firmly believes in the value of common sense, logic, and fact-finding. Her skepticism appears to fly in the face of her psychic ability to drill down to a new client's real problems within moments of saying hello. Yet she can do it. And she does so nearly every day. Joining me now from a city near Chicago is Deborah Frueh. And Deborah, welcome to the X Zone.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to be here.
You're a skeptic. Where does the skepticism come from?
Well, actually, it was imbued into me by my father. My father didn't believe anybody, didn't believe anything that anybody said. He was very, very careful that he wasn't being manipulated. So he had sort of an extreme case of skepticism. And just the right amount of it seems to have rubbed off on me, which is great because ever since I can remember, I've been interested in the paranormal and the New Age sort of psychic things. And when I realized that I could apply skepticism and skepticism type tools to things that were beyond our everyday encounters, it became a really good tool to be able to navigate some of the crazy things that are out there.
Now, how long have you been doing intuitive work now? 25 years?
Yes, 25 years with all of my clients, and about 30 years altogether.
All right, you and I have to take a 2-minute commercial break. Please stand by. Exonation, our special guest this hour is Deborah Frueh, and her website is www.internalwilderness.com. That's www.internalwilderness.com. This is the X Zone. We're coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to give us a call, toll-free worldwide, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. You can chat with us on MSN Messenger using MSN address xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. Don't forget, next week, the X Chronicles newspaper comes out worldwide. More about that later on in tonight's show. I'll be back in 2 minutes with Deborah Frueh. Don't go. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401 0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
Deborah Frueh is our special guest this hour, www.internalwilderness.com. Now, you say that you're an intuitive coach. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of coaches in the world. Certainly you can get a coach to go fishing. You can get a coach for acting. In the business world, you can get a coach for leadership or team building. But who's taking care of the other problems that are happening in your life? I give this example, and I think it's pretty right on. I mean, people are always trying to get better at what they do, their profession and so forth, and in the meantime, their real life is happening in the background. So what if you're in a situation where you can't talk to your significant other because every time you open your mouth, there's a fight? Well, theoretically, you could wait them out forever, right? Except that your boss just slashed your pay, or if you're a woman, maybe you're going to have a baby, and you have to say something. So what are you going to do? An intuitive coach is the best person to talk to because for me personally, I can see when's the best time to talk, what the other person's issues are, how's the best way to approach it, what the big message is and the big lesson is. So really, when you're stuck in a bind that regular coaching isn't going to help, that's when you go to the intuitive coach.
Couldn't you just go to a friend instead?
Yes, very much so, except that unfortunately sometimes our friends are, they side with us or they side with the other. I often tell people, sometimes the best person to turn to is mom. But sometimes that's, if mom hates your spouse, then what are you going to do? Sometimes you just get into a bind where you have to talk to somebody. Somebody who can see something that your friends can't see.
Or somebody who's not biased.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. All right, so when did you first learn that you were a psychic?
Well, as I said, I've been interested in this my whole life, but about 30 years ago, I was inextricably, overwhelmingly drawn to buy a deck of tarot cards. I had never seen a deck of tarot cards. I'd never had my cards read. I really didn't know anything about it. And so I went out and bought the deck and the book and tried to memorize it, and it was the worst year of my life. Interestingly, I finally decided to break down and have my cards read so I could see what it was all about. And the woman who read my cards, when I looked at the cards as she laid them out, I immediately knew what she was going to tell me. It was like watching television. I always say it was the difference between trying to translate the Bible from the original Greek and watching television. That's how clear it was to me.
Now, you call yourself a skeptic as well. How can you be skeptical and psychic at the same time? Don't the two concepts cancel out each other?
Well, actually, I really feel like I've got the best of both worlds, because my father's imbued skepticism in me that taught me to question everything. And my ability to learn how far logic can take me. You know, you can walk down the road with logic for a long time, but eventually, if you really want to be open-minded, you have to set down logic on the side of the road and say, wait here, I'll be back. Take common sense with you, keep going, and keep your mind open. And when you do that, you actually can keep your skepticism, keep your critical faculties without logicking yourself into a corner. I feel like it gives me credibility in my work because people come to me because I'm not the woo-woo kind of intuitive coach.
Do you think there are a lot of woo-woo intuitive coaches out there?
Oh, sure. I've met a lot of them.
All right, here's a sidebar question. How does a listener know who or what the signs are of a woo-woo coach compared to somebody like yourself?
Well, it also depends on what they're looking for. I mean, sometimes people are looking for that kind of a person. And so, you know, I feel like you really, it's always, of course, the best thing to do is get a recommendation from a friend or someone you trust.
Yeah.
But if you go to someone's website and you read good testimonials, and you see that you're being offered every possible way to contact that person with no strings attached, that to me that's the sign of somebody that you at least have the opportunity to have some kind of interaction with to see if that's the right person for you. Because again, sometimes that woo-woo person is the person you need.
Give me an example of using skepticism in the New Age world.
Well, let's talk about one of my favorite subjects, crop circles.
Okay.
I love crop circles. I love the tarot because of the art, and I love crop circles because of the art. They're just breathtaking. But if you use your logical mind, you'll have to say, well, let's see, crop circles started out as little circles, and then they got bigger and wilder and crazier and more intense. And that would sort of, and they're almost always just in England, so that kind of says, well, it's probably people doing it. Then once upon a time, there was a crop circle that came out that was the Mandelbrot set, which is the sort of depiction of a mathematical equation of chaos theory, of a form of chaos theory. And right after the Mandelbrot set was actually discovered in science, it appeared in a field. And I was taken aback. I thought to myself, oh my gosh, they're telling us that they know that we know. But then my logical mind said, or maybe somebody who's really paying attention to these things decided that this would be the time to put that Mandelbrot set, you know, always looking for a new design. On the other hand, it's art from the air. There's not a lot of art from the air that can be appreciated. It grows over, you know. And so I don't know what the crop circles are. I have no idea. I hope they never end because they're so beautiful. But they're so inexplicable. So I continue to be as much a critical thinker as I can. But on the other hand, I have to admit, I have no idea where the crop circles are coming from.
Good point. Let's get back to your psychic work. What tools do you use?
Well, I have a couple that I use. Again, I go back to the tarot, which I read for 25 years. It's a great, great tool. And I also use the Viking runes, which, interestingly, the Vikings had these little stones. They had glyphs that were pressed into them, and so I always say that the Vikings' fortunes were written in stone because what you do is you take a group of these stones and you reach in and pull one, and then there's a book that tells you what that means. There's no wiggle room. There's no interpretation. It is what it is. And I use that to read for myself because I can't read cards for myself because I'm very invested in the outcome of the cards. So I can't read them and be honestly upfront with the answer. So I go to the rooms and I use those for myself. Sometimes I use them for my clients, but I actually urge my clients to use them for themselves when they've got a quick question they need an answer to. But lately, one of my best clients said to me, you could read cards if there was nothing on them. And so I went on a hunt and found a deck of blank tarot cards. And now I read blank cards.
You read blank cards?
Yes, there's nothing on them.
So why would you use them in the first place then if there's nothing on them?
Exactly. This is the thing that I have found for me, and I don't know if it's true for every psychic. But I know this
is it possible that this is just a tool for you to focus on?
Exactly. And
Gotcha.
Better than that, besides the tool to focus, because I can take the cards and put them away in a drawer, I can turn this on and off to a great degree. Mainly I can turn it off between myself and other people's stories. I don't turn it off between myself and my story. That I'm always tuned into. But I can turn off other people's stories. And in fact, when people come back to me for a reading and they say, remember when you said this and that, I can't remember. I don't remember what I tell people.
Interesting.
Even though I record their sessions and send them to them, then I delete them on my end, and I don't know what I said to them. So,
let me ask you a skeptical question, oh skeptic psychic.
Okay.
How can you be sure that the information you're getting is true?
Well, to me, that question goes to accuracy, okay? How accurate am I? How accurate is anybody? Well, of course, every single human being knows that there's no person on earth who's 100% accurate all the time, so I'm not going to try to make that claim. Don't even imagine that.
I'm sure my wife would beg to differ on that one.
Well, and I've heard protesting to the contrary, but nevertheless, I do want to say that a lot of it depends on how honest the client is being with themselves. For instance, I'll have someone come to me and I'll start reading their cards and I'll dive right in on the affair that they're having on the side from their spouse. And that's not why they came to me, and they didn't want me to know about it. Now, a person who is that dishonest with themselves is going to have a real hard time hearing what I'm saying to them. And it doesn't matter how accurate I am, they're not hearing me. All right? So the level of honesty that a client has with themselves, the level of willingness to go on and solve the problem for good, put it behind you, and move to the next arena in their lives has a lot to do with the measure of my accuracy or the measure of the truth of the information that I give.
You and I have to take a commercial break for the news at the bottom of the hour. Please stand by. Exonation Deborah Frueh is our special guest. Here's her contact information. Her website is www.internalwilderness.com. That's www.internalwilderness.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news as the X Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Once again, our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. And the X Zone store is open. You can get your favorite merchandise wear from the X Zone radio and TV show, X Chronicles newspaper, and Paragators at www.xzonestorre.com. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. I'll be back on the other side of this news break with Deborah Frueh. Don't go away.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
And welcome back, everyone. Deborah Frueh is our special guest. Her website is www.internalwilderness.com. And Deborah is an intuitive coach who is a skeptic. A psychic and a skeptic all wrapped up into one. Once again, her website is internalwilderness.com. Tell me, Deb, what can you say to someone who is suffering from a terrible problem? They're hitting the lows in their life, the job market, the financial strain, their family. Like, these poor people today are just at their wits' end.
Exactly. And the first most important thing that I want people to know is, let's say, for instance, that you get a call tonight and you hear that your particular business that you work at is downsizing drastically and pink slips are being written and you don't know if you're going to get one.
Yeah.
This is the wrong time to call your intuitive counselor, because things are already pretty much set in stone. They're coming at you at the speed of light. You might as well just stand up, pack your lunch, go to work, and see what happens. When the dust settles, whether you wind up staying or going, that's when things can come clearer, because believe me, dust can get kicked up for intuitives also. And in the moment of the horribleness, that's not the best time to get the coaching, because coaching is going to help you move through it and then to the next arena. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that life has changed. Life is always going to change, and things will change. But the quality of your response to knowing those two things will really determine how that change will manifest. So in other words, we'll go back to our example, and if you get your phone call that you might be getting a pink slip tomorrow, if you go down and go postal at work, what happens next is going to be far more horrifying than if you say, you know what, I'm going to go to work and take it like a grown-up. Okay? So it's very important that the quality of your response, that you think it through. Now, it goes without saying that shifting the blame to other people is going to bring you a less desirable outcome. So you really want to imagine inside of your own mind, what is it that I had to do with this, and what can I do for me right now? This is also a great time to call your mom or your best friend. This is a great time to get help, because you need people to be there for you. And if you're not in a circle of friends that you can turn to, you really have to push yourself outside of your internal thought process and get out in the world and make some friends, because being a good friend means that you'll have a good friend when you need one in times like this. Now, we all set ourselves up to learn lessons. And when the going gets tough, that's when the lessons are being activated, okay? When everything's going great, that's no lesson there. You're in your rest period, okay?
Yeah.
So you don't have to go it alone, but getting to the bottom of the problem before attempting to solve it is always better than just having a knee-jerk reaction, okay? So if you're having a terrible problem, use the metaphor of the person who heard about the pink slips. Think about what is your highest and best response. Find someone to talk to, and definitely go in and do your very best to face it like a grown-up, because the outcome of the whole thing will be that you will be able to find yourself in a better, clearer place when the dust settles.
Cause and effect karma.
Very much so.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you also contact people who have passed to the other side for your clients, or the people who seek you as an intuitive coach?
Actually, I can. I didn't know that was a possibility until a few years ago when someone asked me if her daughter had a message for her, and she didn't tell me that her daughter had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the cards, and I said, she keeps telling me you never take her to the beach anymore. And this woman burst into tears. And then I found out the whole story, that she had passed away and that was what they always did, and nobody's gone to the beach since she passed. And I was shocked. But since then, many times I've been asked, and yes, it's quite doable.
What's the main message that you get from those on the other side to share with those that are left behind?
Well, it makes me think kind of a Ouija board. The Ouija board, you ask the answer to the life's big questions, and then you get some kind of answer.
I'm still waiting for my Ouija board to give me the lottery numbers.
We can talk about the lottery. But the thing is that usually when I'm speaking to people on the other side through my cards or through the blank cards or however we're conducting our session, mainly people on the other side just want people here to know that they're here. It's them. It's really them. They'll say something that nobody else would have known, and that gives the other person comfort. I have never had anybody ask me to ask questions like, where did you bury the $1,000 or anything like that. So that remains to be seen. We should test that someday.
Mind you, in today's economy, that would be a great question. Did I say that? I didn't mean that. I'm going to suffer for that one. Tell me, is there anything that you won't tell a client in your work? And if so, why not?
Well, I won't tell the winning lottery numbers because those are for me. No,
all right, there goes my question to you. Okay, thanks.
No, actually, there's two things that I won't talk about. The first one is health, and the second one is death. Now, I don't talk about health because, amazingly, I'm pretty accurate on the health department, but I really feel that people tend to go to an intuitive or a psychic instead of the doctor. And that's not going to solve your problem at all.
Well, that's because a psychic and an intuitive these days is a lot less expensive than a doctor is. That makes common sense.
Well, very true, but it's hard to find anybody who will do a diagnosis anymore.
Huh.
I mean, on the psychic side, because there's just too many issues involved. And as with the prediction of death, you can be wrong. Yeah. And it's really, you wanted to talk about karma. It's really bad karma to set somebody up for that.
So you take a lot of responsibility of what you say and what you do as an intuitive coach.
Absolutely.
That's
I would never, ever set somebody up. My job is to help you see past the dragons, because everybody's got them, and find out what your personal triumph is going to be. And that's where we go, and that's where we look. When I look at your cards, if I see something that's nasty going to happen, I won't even tell you until I've continued to look until I see the light. And when I see what the good thing is, because every bad thing is followed by a good thing, then I'll start to tell you the story. Well, Rob, it looks like this is going to happen, and these people are involved, and here's how you'll know this is the issue, because so-and-so will say this and that to you, and this is what I want you to know about it. When you're through going through this and you really need to hold your head up and not get involved in the gossip, then your reward, which will be whatever it is, a promotion, a better relationship with someone, that sort of thing. So I'll never leave you off in the dark spot with the dragons, ever.
Has there ever been a person who's come to you for a reading and for one reason or another, you just get nothing? You just keep on pulling a blank?
I've had a couple of people who I couldn't seem to get a beat on very well. I can get a beat on everybody, but most people I can get a nice, strong reading with. There's a few people out there that I haven't, but to be honest with you, my favorite reading is over the phone to a complete stranger, so they can't give me any cues. You would not believe how many physical cues people give you. And I like them to be a skeptic. I like them to say, I don't believe in this stuff. Because that is the absolute most fun for me, because it's a challenge, for one. And for two, it opens people's minds up. I was reading for a gentleman one day. This was actually in person, and his wife wanted to hang around, and I don't like to read with two people in the room. And he said to me, yeah, well, I don't believe in any of this, so what do you see? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, it looks like you've been in front of the judge, and looks like it's probably some kind of car accident. And his jaw dropped, and his face went white, and he had just been to court for a DUI that he hadn't told his wife about.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's why I like to do it, one-on-one. I don't like other people around, because that's not the best way to hear news like that.
You like a challenge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you don't know me from Adam. We've just chatted about 60 seconds before we went on air. Give me a quick reading.
Give you a quick reading. Yeah. Well, let's see. I want to grab my cards. And while I'm shuffling them up, do you have any other questions for me?
Yeah, which hand do you shuffle with, your right or your left?
No, my cards are so big I need two hands.
Really?
Yeah, tarot decks tend to be larger than playing cards.
Are you playing with a full deck?
Yes.
Okay.
I promise.
That's good to know.
All 78 cards.
Wow. That's one big deck.
All right.
All right.
All right. So let me take a quick look for you, Rob. Let me give me a quick second to just draw a bead on you here. Okay, so it looks like you're either just back from vacation or about to go on vacation. Something is in a lull period for you. And, everything's groovy. It was the right time to go, or the right time for this to happen. Cost you a little bit, but you were fine with that. As a matter of fact, the deal that you were hoping would come through came through, and that's about to start rolling in some cash. So I got to be honest with you, I don't see too many throws that are quite this happy, but yours is quite happy, and your final outcome card says that, it's a week to party. Pat yourself on the back. You did good.
A week to party. When do I go and have this party? When was this?
You deserve it. You should give it to yourself.
Oh, okay. I haven't been planning a vacation. I'd love to go on one. I haven't had a vacation for 7 years now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be a vacation, but a lull, an imposed lull in some area.
Oh, all right. An imposed lull in some area. You mean like a rest?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go for one of those. Yeah, why not? I
think, Rob, that if you're not on vacation or haven't gone in 7 years, I think you're going to be seeing a vacation.
I'm going to what, dear?
Be seeing a vacation coming.
Well, that's good. I hope so. That would be more than welcomed. If someone wants to develop their psychic ability, Deborah, how should they start?
Well, as you probably figured out, I love to speak in metaphors. So let's pretend that you just said to me, I want to learn how to play piano. What do I do?
Buy a piano.
And well, you need to have a piano, so you got to have the tool. You don't necessarily need a teacher right off the bat. You can sit down and noodle around on that piano and learn a few things on your own. And so what could you do for free? What could you learn on your own? The first thing is, if you get a piano, then you probably believe you're going to be able to learn to play it. You wouldn't buy the piano if you didn't think you had any talent. Why would you bother?
True.
So, to pull the metaphor on the other side, if you believe that you have psychic ability, that's the first and biggest hurdle, is to just believe it. Give yourself permission to be psychic. All right? Because our logical minds love to hold that back. The second thing is to use free association is a great way to start. Okay, so you look outside and you see a person, and that person makes you think of this word, and that word always brings to mind this song, and that song makes you feel like this. That's the kind of logic or non-logic trail that psychic readings take. It's an association in a different area, not the logical area that we live our lives in. And you have to practice that. So every day you're going to have to test yourself, do I believe this? Because this is kind of crazy. And then you practice it and you go, I don't know what I'm getting out of this. But in your piano analogy, you can't go to Carnegie Hall after one lesson, okay? You have to practice, 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 as they say. And so you will practice. You will practice and practice and practice, and one day it'll come to you. Maybe you'll think you should pick up a pen and do automatic writing. Or maybe somebody will come over with some cards and you'll go, holy cow, I know what that's going to say. It's giving yourself the permission and then going through that pre-association on a regular basis and believing that it's giving you something.
Deb, stand by. You and I have to take our final break. X-Zone Nation. Deborah Frueh is our special guest. She is an intuitive coach. Great lady. Psychic and skeptic. I love the combination. www.internalwilderness.com is her website. That's www.internalwilderness.com. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, visit www.xzbn.net.
Dreams are our personal gateways into infinite wisdom. Don't miss shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Corcoran's inspiring book, Shamanic Awakening Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles Sandra's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers and her initiations throughout the Americas and across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt. Sandy's knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private tarot readings, international journeys, a meditative CD, as well as her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate this earth walk, creating a deeper connection to yourself and all that is. Find this and more at Sandy's website, starwalkervisions.com.
Deborah Frueh is our special guest. www.internalwilderness.com. That's www.internalwilderness.com. Deborah, what can you tell our listeners that will help them right now? Because as we said earlier in this hour, there are a lot of people who are either out of a job, losing their job, which causes financial hardships. Once financial hardships come along, relationships start to suffer like crazy. It's a spiral effect. Unfortunately, it's a downward spiral effect. So what can you tell our listeners that might help them or that will help them right now?
Well, the first thing that you have to know, and it sounds flip, but I learned this as an epiphany during one of my darkest days, and that is, if you're breathing, there is a solution. You are not on this earth to suffer and die at the hands of some problem. You are here to solve it. Now, if you are finding yourself in a downward spiral and it is causing stress and strain in your relationships, you have to make an effort to get out in the world and not close yourself off from the world. Because the second thing I want to say is that there are people that can help you, and you have to trust that you'll find them, but you're not going to find them sitting home. This is the example I give people is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to go out and buy a ticket. No one's going to come to your door and knock on your door and go, hey, you just won the lottery. You have to get out and engage in the process. And so you need to get out. You need, even if you're not looking for a job, you just need to get out and be with people. Remember that everything is happening as it should, but there are faster ways to do the shoulds. So with a little bit of intuitive help, you can get through a problem faster. And really, people are only motivated to do this when they're really tired of the pain. So when you're in that pain, ask yourself, am I ready? Am I really ready to give this up forever? Now, sometimes it's your turn to rest, and sometimes it's your turn to learn the lesson. But if you're deep in the middle of a problem, you know that you're in the growing phase. So you just have to work it to the best of your ability with the tools at hand. And just never forget to ask for help.
Deb, how can our listeners get a hold of you for your intuitive coaching sessions?
You can reach me at my website, which is internalwilderness.com, or you can email me at deb@internalwilderness.com. I'm usually every weekday I am engaged in intuitive counseling, so please do just drop me an email and I'll shoot you one right back. Also, my phone number is on my website. I do not mind people calling me and seeing who I am to see if I'm the right fit for them. It always works best, these types of situations, if you're with the right fit.
Deb, it's been a great pleasure talking to you. I hope that you and I have the opportunity of speaking again here in the X Zone.
Thanks so much.
Take care of yourself. Really a pleasure talking to you. X Zone Nation, Deborah Frueh has been my guest. www.internalwilderness.com. That's internalwilderness.com. And her email address is deb@internalwilderness.com. We'll be back on the other side of this news break. Don't go away.